So we resume to see who is the first man into the British Open final. Mark Williams had a chance certainly to pull away and establish
Mark Williams
a lead at the interval, but it's 2-2, all to play for. Big crowd in. Looking forward to finding out what happens next. Vafaei had to dig in. We know that he is very, very competitive, and I'm sure he'd be delighted with 2 each coming back. Well, Mark Williams reverted to the more traditional break-off shot, and it may well have worked out for him here.
Full. One.
Yeah, certainly has. Nicely picked out plant. Yeah, of course, that break off, you're not going to leave your opponent anything, but you're also not going to put him under any pressure. It was a curious play, wasn't it, in start of frame 3?
7. Eight.
Yeah, of course, he started doing it a couple of years ago, and he said it was to not to leave long reds on. I think also Mark he's a mischievous sort. He likes to create a bit of disruption, and what happened was various other players started to do it without really knowing why. It was a little phase that came and went. Anyway, he's in here and looking to press on. He's seen every conceivable situation in a big snooker match.
13.
He won't be too concerned having lost his 2-0 lead. He's playing well overall.
14. $21. 22.
Yeah, that kind of shot's where the new bedcloth helps.
29.
No problem getting the
30.
revs on the cue ball back out into open play, so that helps to break building.
$37. 38.
Yeah, not going to get as close to this red as he wants. Set up the black into the bunch. It's not easy to control this.
43.
you go, end of break.
44.
Always trace it back, those kind of mistakes, can you? It was a couple of shots previous. Not getting above the blue line.
Mark Williams,
A
44.
healthy lead. And a good way to sort of re-establish himself. Big semi-final.
Yes, and if you do break down, then just try and play a useful safety. With the reds bunched together, he was unlikely to leave one on there, but that shot can go wrong if you play it too hard.
It's actually not a bad safety shot he has here. He's not going to be pushing a red over right corner, so he can be quite aggressive with the bunch. This time he comes round for a look. He's got to be a wee bit more careful with this one. In actual fact, he has a pot on, doesn't he? Potential shot to nothing. And it might be a shot to a lot. A shot cue ball.
1.
Yeah, it just beats the blue, but it isn't. That's end of break. But a good pot.
Yeah, long pot stats are interesting, aren't they? Williams just 1 out of 4, Vafaei 7 out of 8. Of course, Williams renowned quite rightly as a terrific long potter. But Vafaei ahead on that score so far.
Hossein Vafaei, 1.
Yeah, the fact that we have a new cloth on the table overnight for the semi-finals and final makes every situation that bit more dangerous. Last couple of days, you wouldn't be as worried of leaving a chance, you know, with the reds, a couple of reds and cushions, that sort of thing. You wouldn't be overly concerned. But no, that's not the case now. More playable, thinking about the double to right middle. Itching to have a go.
So Williams already with a healthy lead after his first visit.
Eight. Nine.
One more red needed after this black. I went for the double, felt there was value in it. Of course, the problem is if you don't get it, no real idea where it's going to finish. He left it
16.
to the middle. Williams needs the red to retake the lead.
17.
Looking to reach his 40th ranking final
24.
in a glorious 30-year career. It's had peaks and troughs as you'd expect over such a long period, but of course it's just 2 years ago he won this British Open for the second time.
25.
First was back in 1997.
$32. 33. 36. 37.
He said a couple of days ago that he feels that he normally takes him a couple of chances sometimes to win frames. It's taken him two this, but his safety game's that good that he's not under any
Mark
extra
Williams,
pressure to do
37.
it in one visit.
On the frame.
No, in some ways it was a quintessential Mark Williams frame, that, and he ended up dominating it to go back in front in this semi-final at 3-2.
Trust the Trader, sponsoring ITV4 Daytime.
TrustTheTrader.com. Some people come to escape. They come here looking for something.
But if you just keep going, you find something new to fight for.
How battle till the end.
Escape to extraordinary with Sky and Netflix together in one simple subscription for £26 a month. Sky Stream.
Just like you, not all rise and recline chairs are made the same. Isn't that right, Olivia? That's why we make many different styles in a variety of beautiful fabrics. And your chair is sized to fit you perfectly. They're thoroughly tested. Relaxing, rising, reclining, rising, reclining, and relaxing. Rise and recline chairs, handmade in Great Britain by Oak Tree Mobility. Request your free brochure today.
Trust the Trader, sponsoring ITV4 Daytime.
TrustTheTrader.com.
The bright lights of Cheltenham, we're here for the first semi-final of the British Open. And Mark Williams is back in front,
Thank you,
3-2
frame
against
six.
Hossein Vafaei, having
Hossein
lost that
Vafaei
2-0
break.
lead before the interval. Vafaei, of course, did beat Williams in that shootout final, but in some ways, who he was playing wasn't that relevant because Williams only had one shot. He broke off, and Vafaei made the winning break in just a 10-minute frame, of course. In terms of their substantial meetings, it is 3-0 to Williams coming into this one, including 2 semi-finals in ranking events in China.
So a rare, more of a safety shot, really, the red, but we missed the pot. No real idea of the cue ball, so the double kiss. A half chance. This is an aggressive play, more difficult of the two. Far more difficult, that one. Yeah, I mean, I understand that the red across the table, he can't get above the blue, but it was a starter. Already took on something like 3 or 4 times more difficult.
One. Six. Seven.
He's still got the pink, but what's the natural angle? Can he avoid that top left pocket? Takes the pot on. Always veering to, as you can see there, the side cushion, so can get over ambitious with it, and that's kind of the difference between these two players style wise, isn't it? It's a very interesting
30.
match-up, this one. If that had been Hossein, he'd have been in and out of bulk for sure. He's that bit more adventurous. No, but what about that for the pot?
14.
Still on the black in a fashion, but not nice. Very subtle differences in the way that players are aggressive. That was an aggressive play, but as always with Mark, the only red he could leave, really.
Mark Williams.
He's never quite looked in.
Yeah.
Just wondered with the new cloth, maybe it might just slide in, but no. Caught too much of the cushion first.
Yeah, it's quite a fascinating battle of wits going on out there, actually,
1.
so far. Mark always plays the game pretty much on his own terms, but he'll be aware that because Hossein's so aggressive, he's got to show Hossein that he's not frightened to take on, you know, the odd risk here and there. So that, in some way, just knocks Mark out of his own comfort zone, just a fraction. You know, fractions is all it takes at this level.
Just give me a second, please.
So I think at the moment of the two players, it's a balancing act is more on Mark's shoulders than Hossein. Hossein will only play his own game, regardless of the opponent. Mark's more of an alley cat player. He's streetwise and smart. Might not always say it, but he will play on the strengths or weaknesses of any given opponent.
$20.
He really is
21.
lovely through the cue ball, isn't he, Hossein?
$26.
This is a risk because the black's the only ball on in the brush cannon. It's a risk he doesn't have to take. Yeah, blue's the out ball, so that's the safe play.
$27.
But as ever, straight or just low, straight's no good.
$29.
Out of this world. The beauty of the yellow actually was that he didn't
30.
overplay it. He stroked it in like that, and again the new cloth helping with a zip back to blue or bolt colour.
It's not one to hold back, is he? I think what's interesting about this match is the contrasting characters of the players, which so often is the case with snooker. You've got Hossein Vafaei, very passionate, energetic sort of character. And of course, Mark Williams' entire shtick is that he's laid back. He doesn't get rattled, he doesn't show any of that. And, well, it'd be fascinating to see which one prevails. But Vafaei firmly on the front foot here.
$34. Hossein Vafaei, 34.
Well, the only good news, I suppose, is that the red he's missed, he has covered.
Yeah, the potential. I thought that was just a bluff there. There's no value, no percentage in the pot down this end. A wee bit of bluff there, just trying to pretend that he's being aggressive, when actually it's the opposite. But that's all part of it. The blue's off the spot, so as he left this, looks like it. No, sorry. Yeah, just the blue they see there, just off the spot.
Foul, miss. Hossein Vafaei, 4.
The pace was excellent, which it has to be. Anything above that red he's trying to hit, and he's going to leave one.
Because you can see it.
Well, just taking a little tension out of the moment. A little joke with Colin Humphries, the referee.
Slightly over. Okay, yeah. Is that better? Yeah, Hossein. Yeah. Want to check a Tatiana, please?
No material difference here. I mean, he's going to play this exact same shot.
Come on now if you want to have a look.
Okay,
There's occasions
it's a ball
makes no
closer
difference.
to mark, diagonal. Quarter ball more, the same direction. And a touch more.
Tatiana Wollaston. Just
That
helping
looks
out
good.
on the mark.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Turned into quite a cagey encounter. Semi-finals off and on. You know, suddenly we're down to one table. Everyone else has gone. Big prize to be playing in the final tomorrow.
Thank you.
he's going to be careful here. The only problem the ready's going to try and lay on. If he lays on at dead weight, he's leaving a red to right middle. Yeah, so looking for the 2 cushion glance, which is good percentage. Can hit either red.
Well, we saw earlier his long potting hadn't been necessarily at its best in this match, but my word, it's changed with that shot. Terrific. Trying to get the reds into play, which he needs trailing. It hasn't quite worked out as intended, though, in terms of landing on one.
8.
That's the thing with Williams, though, and it's true of all the really great players. They're dangerous in any scenario. You know, a frame that's sort of scrappy. One shot can transform things. We know he's a heavy scorer. Got arguably the best temperament in the game. You never relax playing him.
Mark
Williams,
Williams,
the point you
8.
make, actually, excuse me, about the temperament, it's almost like he doesn't even have one. There is no such thing. You just sort of, yeah, let's go and hit some balls and play a few shots and see what happens. It's not like that, but it makes it feel that way.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly true. He won't have been up all last night, you know, not been able to get to sleep, fretting about playing. He won't even thought about it, really. It's just another thing he's doing today. Obviously, it's the most important thing when he does it. But then when it's over, he either wins or he loses. Either way, gets on with his life.
Yeah, temperament. What's that? What is that? In that shot there, great simplicity, wasn't it? Just glide off a red into baulk, and the spot that's given, I say, more than 1 or 2 problems.
I mean, Vafaei, he was just 17 when he won the World Amateur title in 2011. He actually beat Lee Walker in the final, who, of course, is Mark's coach now, former professional World Seniors champion. Lee's told Mark plenty about Hossein, although Mark's seen it close up as well.
Foul, a miss. Hossein Vafaei, 4.
Erring on the side of caution, and then some.
Thank you.
Maybe was a bit wary first time with the new cloth of overdoing it, leaving a pot on.
It's almost a cast iron safety shot he has off the red. North of the 5, but as ever he's trying to be aggressive with the outside chance of a plant. It's the sort of shot that Mark will want him to play, I think. The fact that he'd be going up table. Hossein does need the 2 reds near the left side cushion if he's going to win the frame at this visit, which is obviously a big ask, but the point is that I think Mark wants him to play this. Better that than probably being nailed in behind the brown, so here we go. A risk that he didn't have to take, but he's uncompromising, as we know.
One.
And in that one shot, Hossein has given up control of this frame.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. $17.
Yeah, the pink is a lovely angle, isn't it, to move the red nearest the middle pocket, but you can't avoid the black. I don't think, anyway. It's very tight, this. Yeah, you could only avoid it by playing it slowly, and it's gone wrong. But what you do know is he'll
23.
leave the table far better than the position he was in when he arrived.
Mark Williams, 23.
This frame feels like a match within a match. Been going now for nearly 26 minutes, by far the longest of the afternoon. And the way it's panned out, it's a sort of frame where Mark Williams would normally be favourite. So if Vafaei were to win it, that would be quite a big blow, really, to land, to win a frame like that against Williams. But right now, it's firmly in the balance.
It's not the worst leave, having taken the pot on. Now then, Hossein to set up a winning contribution. Big shot. Oh, very smooth.
One. Five. Six.
Yes, there's obviously a concern. He feels he can't hold the cue ball. He's going to have to go the scenic route. Yeah, the trouble flirting with the right middle pocket of two cushions. The pink's in the way. He missed the pink high, every chance of going in off. So I think he's thinking about round the back of the black. Let's see. Oh, he played it with check. That's unbelievable. Please be on the yellow just for justice, if nothing else, because to play that with check I don't think it's a shot that any other player in the game would have even thought about, far less attempted. As we say, check. It was the unnatural side. Horrible way to play it, but what a pot. You see the cue ball check up here. Just there.
Yeah, he was stretching.
Hossein, Vafaei, 9.
Tried at first, thought about the rest, didn't like it. Lengthened the cue, yes, but he was still stretching, didn't get really close to the yellow. Went wrong, of course, prior to that, where he left himself on that green. He had a good chance on those last two reds to win this frame and level up. He'll have to do it all again now. Let's see if he can get another chance, of course. Yeah, the yellow's just run far enough where he can't hold the cue ball. Not directly anyway, and playing the pot. Might be playing the pot and trying to actually cannon the green. Oh, nearly, but that'll do. What a shot to play it at that speed. Good job, table fitters and Mark Williams. Now,
This is equally as awkward.
Mark Williams, 2.
He saw that middle pocket was in the way of his bridge hand here, which made it more difficult. Looks like he has covered it with the brown. Pot needs the cue ball
3.
to pull up now. What does he do with the cue ball? Hit straight across it.
Hossein Vafaei, 3.
It's always disconcerting for a player when they know that the next shot, even if he pots the brown, he's at almost full distance with a long blue for game. That was enough to put him off the stroke.
What a battle. Look at that, 34 minutes and counting. Quite a demoralising frame to lose. You would think for Vafaei, who's had a couple of good chances, and of course he'd be 4-2 down apart from anything else.
Both players have invested a lot of time and effort. More to the point in this frame. Trying to get the cue ball in behind the pink here. Saying it's one of those, he's holding all the cards. It's only, yeah, a 7-point lead, but it does make a difference. Back to plan A, send it round the houses again. Same shot as last time. Oh, that's a bonus, a complete miss hit in the hand of apology. He's saying about the 7-point lead,
4.
he only needs the blue.
Well, of course, it's the great unknown quantity, isn't it? Luck in any sport, snooker no different. But the blue's not in.
Hossein Vafaei, 4.
Mark is going to contemplate, I think, playing the pot in this blue. There is some value in this. It's such a tough pot. One of those, a kind of gentle to slowish pace. He'd probably be on the pink, but perhaps he's going in behind pink, the push up and down. Apologies, he did play it. There was value, wasn't there, as you see there. Look at the pot, but if he doesn't get it, how does he get the blue away from the pocket? It's a thin one. How does he get the blue away from the pocket? He couldn't. You get the point. When, in open play, that blue, it's a decent chance this for Hossein, given the scoreboard.
Did not play it with much confidence. Pressure in the match, of course, it's a semi-final, but this frame, it's been magnified. Oh, that's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. Needs the white to run a bit. Hasn't quite come.
Five.
His eye position on pink. Great pot, though. This cue ball is running and running. What a shot this is. Well, look, to win the British Open, you've got to win 37 frames. They can't all be centuries. Sometimes it's a bit about tactics and touch and temperament. Step forward, Mark Williams.
Mark Williams.
Hossein Vafaei had a lot of chances to win that frame, but cool as you like in the end, Mark Williams secured it, and it's a big, big one to win. He's 2 away from reaching the final at 4-2. A lot of mileage left in this one, yeah?
Thank you.
of trouble now for Hossein. Has been 4-2 behind. He decides to come out and play a bit more, even more aggressive and prepared to go out on his shield. Then in some ways that plays into Mark's hands. Yeah, Mark looked to the heavens there. He's left the gap.
Touching ball.
This is the trouble they've got. These top players, Mark Williams obviously being one of them, they've got the patience of a saint. You think you've got a wee bit of control, actually you don't. Like trying to open an oyster with your bare hands. Eventually Mark will get the chance to get the cue ball back in bulk, and here it is if he wants to play it. Oh, hasn't gone far enough, it looks like it. Of course, the black out of commission though. It's difficult to make a good play on this red. Power with topspin isn't going to get the cue ball out of there.
Hossein, Vafaei. 1.
Yeah, Vafaei just sort of can't break free of the Williams shackles, can he? You just feel Mark Williams, certainly obviously after that last frame, just in control here. Making things very tough. Good safety and not leaving easy chances at the moment.
Yeah, that's annoying for Hossein. It's a mini mistake, but he's got away with it. You know, he don't get any change out of Mark, so he's got to make some sort of aggressive move. At least getting the black into the open. Probably not going to yield anything, not just yet, but Mark can play those games all day long. Just defending and defending, waiting. Okay, Hussein's got, well, I wouldn't say his reward, but getting Mark to come out swinging there has given him a half chance. And obviously, the state of the match, the way it's been panning out since the interval, every half chance he gets has got to be jumped all over.
One.
Well, he's finally got in at least, so let's see what he can make of this.
Eight. Nine.
Oh, that's excellent. Very good. He held off from going really deep on the cue ball.
16.
Getting it almost spitting back towards him where he was. That was excellent.
Really important visit, isn't it? He's, as I say, had the shackles on, struggling to break free of Mark Williams, but he's got himself in, so it's imperative he scores here.
$23.
24. Lots of different tests in a match like this. There's the whole match itself. There's the position you find yourself in, and there's why you're in that position. And Vafaei, I'm sure, would have felt as he sat in his chair waiting for Williams to return for this frame that maybe it should have been 3-3, but that's all in the past, and this is a challenge, is to look forward and be ready when chances like this come.
31. 32. 39.
Yeah, so the plant must be a certainty, but he's just the wrong side of straight on it. But well controlled.
40. 45. 46.
Wee bit surprising that he played on this red.
53.
Didn't have to. Yeah, but a good clean
54.
pot. And it really has been an excellent break this so far. Probably the best in terms of quality all afternoon.
$61.
Well, this is good stuff in the context of what's happened in the last 20 minutes or so.
62.
So this black will be the highest break of the afternoon, and it should make it just 4-3 to Williams. And now the question is, can Hossein Vafaei push on and make what would be career century number 100?
69.
It's a growing list
70.
reflecting the strength and depth in the game. 78 players have made 100 centuries in competition, but it's still a terrific milestone to reach. And this, whether it's a century or not, has been a very
77.
timely contribution. Because he's
78.
seems he shrugged off what happened in that lengthy 41-minute frame that he lost on the black and just focused on what's to come. There's still a final to reach here this afternoon.
85. 86. 93.
Here we go then, a
94.
special moment for Hossein Vafaei, this pink for a century of centuries in competition. But what a time to make it as well. Back against the wall in this match.
100.
Mark Williams was making things very difficult. He got a chance though, and he's made full use of it.
101. 108. 110. 113.
Yeah, it's quality this, isn't it? Because he's kind of been hamstrung by Mark
117.
Williams the last frame or two. They've said the shackle's been on, and the way that he's broken free of those has been very impressive.
122.
The start of the break was quite, not so much slow, but quite studious, and he's got a wee bit quicker, and now he's in full stroke.
135
Hossein Vafaei. I can stand up to this. A wonderful break that. 135 clearance from Hossein Vafaei's 100th career century. The gap is narrowed to 4-3. Do that 135 clearance.
Thank you,
from
frame 8.
Hossein
Hossein Vafaei to break.
To reduce the arrears to 4-3. It's not just winning the frame though, is it? It's how he did it. He got the one chance and he took the frame out. So any suggestion that he was dwelling negatively on what happened in frame 6 has been dispelled.
Staying aggressive then. Boy, this is a tough pot. Just at the moment, Hossein's getting the best of this match, isn't he? It was something of a statement, that last frame. But you've got to ride the wave as long as you can. That was a tough pot, mind you, but yeah, he knew it.
He just always feels more significant when it follows a miss by your opponent. You know, Williams missed the little cutback. The chance for Vafaei to capitalise. He didn't do it. And neither's Mark Williams.
Yeah, for the first time probably in the tournament, Mark is looking a wee bit edgy. He knows he's playing a player this afternoon who's not frightened to win. He knows that through experience, that shootout final. I know it's not big cheese as far as ranking events go and all that, but the way that he won it, that was a statement, that final.
One.
Well, he had two chances there. Williams didn't convert either. Missed the initial red both times. Vafaei sensing just a shift in momentum here.
Eight. Nine.
It's unforgivable.
Hossein, Vafaei, 9.
Just got himself in a kerfuffle there, the way that he was trying to play on the red. Took his eye off the pot for a split second and he's left the door ajar. You can't do that against this quality. Well, my apologies, Mark. But he's completely lost his way at the moment, for whatever reason.
Yeah. Thank you. 1.
One player in the sport that you think you can't really get him at it, as we say, is Mark. He seems to be at the moment. Hossein's got to take full advantage of this.
8. 9.
Wow.
Hossein,
Well, there
Vafaei,
are more
9.
misses, I think, in this frame than the whole match. Another black off the spot. Williams does get another chance after all. But how's he feeling? Just needs to pot a few here, doesn't he? Yeah. He says, thanks, I've made one. Just needs to get his hand on the table, pot a few, get that rhythm going again. He's only actually made 1/2 century in the whole match. That was frame 1, 66. Been bits and pieces otherwise.
6. 7.
Yeah, there's value in the bunch here. Spring the pink open. Not perfect, but not terrible.
12. 13.
Oh, what a bonus ball that kiss was. He's well set now. The pink spot is completely in the open.
$19. 20.
So another important passage of play in this match. Williams has looked the most vulnerable all afternoon in those sequences of misses, but the fact is he's got a chance to win it after all. Speaking to Mark Selby yesterday, and he said about his frame with Dave Gilbert, you know, missing can become contagious. It creates a strange energy in the room, and that maybe was the case for Vafaei there.
27.
A bit sort of surprised that Williams had missed so many, and maybe it affected him, but he had such a good chance to really pounce on Williams being vulnerable. He didn't do it.
$33. 34. 40. $41.
Yeah, he had such a chance for Vafaei to keep Williams in his chair, thinking about what's happening. Suddenly I can't pot a ball, but he's come back to the table and he is potting balls, and he's looking good for 5-3.
47. $48.
Yeah, I know it's been quite an easy chance for a player of Mark's class, but his cue ball's been superb. It's kind of had to be, just to re-establish some confidence.
54.
Last thing he would have needed right about now is
55.
leaving the table having missed a straightforward kind of pot. So this pink and one more red should do the job. Lots of normal mortals, snooker player wise, they miss a few shots like Mark has in the last frame or two, and you do worry.
61.
But you never really worry for long with this guy. Frame ball.
62.
Yes, the ship is duly steadied.
Mark Williams, 62.
I think he's staying in his seat.
And the frame.
Yeah, thinking about some of his own mistakes, that missed black off the spot being the last of them. So Mark Williams with a 62 break. He's on the brink of a place in the final, leading. Well, you've heard of the hot shots. This is more like the not shots coming up here, because we had a spell of misses at the start of that last frame from both players. Some harder than others, it's got to be said. But it just became a little contagious. And you could hear the sort of oohs and ahs and the gasps from the crowd. That was a bad miss for Vafaei. But eventually, Williams, when the chance came, controlled things well and made 62, his second half century of the day. 5-3, he needs one, and we're waiting for Vafaei to return. He needs the last three. It's a similar position to when they played in the semi-finals, the China Championship 2019. Williams, again, he made the running that day, 4-1, 5-3. In the end, it was 6-5 to him, so there was a comeback. But it suddenly looks a bit more relaxed, doesn't he, about things, as the crowd await to see if Vafaei can get back into this. It's been an interesting match. Obviously, Vafaei's 1-3-5 raised the stakes in the previous frame, but then he just started to miss himself in that last one. And Williams getting ready for one final push to reach the final of the British Open.
Thank you. Frame 9. Mark Williams to break.
So Mark Williams leads 5-3. It's been an eventful match. There could still be plenty more to come. Oh, he's gone back to this again. Just missed the black.
Touch and ball.
Vafaei didn't look too impressed.
You said touch, yeah?
Yes.
Played that in the third frame as well. A break-off shot.
Yeah, the tail end of that previous frame, Hossein looked thoroughly fed up in the chair. It's not an emotion you want to have when you're playing against Mark Williams, because he has no sympathy whatsoever. And nor should he. Hossein's got to stand firm here as best he can. I mean, this is a wee bit of a surprise. He's not playing the regular safety shot. Perhaps he feels he's pushing a red over the corner. If you show weakness in terms of your application and all that, I'm not going that far about Hossein at the moment, but if you do, players like the top players especially will exploit it. He's kind of trying to play Mark Williams at his own game here, but it's a waste of time.
Mark Williams.
Waste of time and a waste of effort. The one head you're not going to get in is Mark's. Now, as I say, got to stand firm here, Hossein. A bit of a freebie, this. But it's gone wrong straight away. Not, you know, just not the kind of shot you want. This. Still living recent disappointments into the bunch of reds. It's quite a nasty one. With pace, you can see he doesn't really fancy it. He's playing the cannon on the lone red. Yeah, well played.
Eight. Nine. $16.
No great surprise he didn't get the cue ball out of there, like hitting a brick wall.
Hossein Vafaei, 16.
Got to keep his head up here. There's a match still to be won. It can be won, of course. But psychological advantage has certainly shifted back to Williams. You look at all the tournaments, though, Mark Williams as well. He would have been in positions like this where things would have gone against him. He would have been behind in key matches. And players like him, great champions, they find a way to dig themselves out. The trouble they're in.
Foul, miss. Mark Williams, 4. Yeah. Thank you. It was a bit further up. Just checking the angle. Tatiana, please. That must be.
Slightly closer to me, maybe
How much?
half a ball. And just a touch to your right. That's it. Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, the thick safety off the bunch is on. But Mark doesn't want to play that. He wants to keep the bunch tight for the time being, you would think. Like that. He just slowly kind of telling Hossein, you're going to have to come out and produce something special if you're going to take this match away from me. It's noted there. I think he can see a red full ball. Yeah, Hussein's got a different outlook. He wants to get the reds open. That's a good shot. He's going to have to take those, not risks, but just on occasion play the aggressive way.
Foul, a miss. Hossein Vafaei 4.
Yeah, he's got to play a shot here, Hossein. He knows that next time round Mark will get the thin edge. Oh, that red that ran towards the far left corner, it just tailed to the right as it came to rest. It was bolt straight and then it just tailed right. It's given him a tiny angle on it. But it's the plant. Must feel sure he's going to get this because he's leaving plenty. Yeah, no problem.
So Mark Williams with a chance here in the frame. He needs to reach the final. He's 40th in a ranking event, it would be. Of course, he was in one at the start of the season, the Championship League. It's a slightly different event that it is, as the name suggests, a league. And then there's one very short knockout final to conclude it. Sean Murphy beat him 3-0.
5.
Even so, it just underlines that at the start of this season, he's playing well.
Just give me a second,
We saw
please,
John
Mark.
Higgins get to the semi-finals of the European Masters. We saw Ronnie O'Sullivan 2 weeks ago win the Shanghai Masters. The holy trinity of snooker, aren't they? The class of 92, all still performing at the highest level.
11. 12.
Well, he's played the aggressive shot. Now is there another
19.
plan? Not, it's the red to far corner. Oh, wonderful stuff. When you look back to the start of the last frame, the balls that were being missed, and now he's knocking
20.
those in, and the reason is he's sensing his chance now to get this one, and it's a good chance.
24.
Yeah, the way the match
25.
has gone as a whole for Mark, if it was most of the players on the tour anyway, it's been quite a journey. Started off nicely, healthy lead, got pegged back at the interval, then played nicely straight after, then it all went a bit south on him, and as I say, normal players you'd have a worry, but emotionally for him it was just
32.
yeah, all right, okay, no problem. Let's just get back in the headspace that I, well, always am, and just get the job done. He looks completely untroubled
33.
by anything that's gone on previously. And if he goes on and wins the frame and match at this visit, it's typical of the great man. You can get him maybe off kilter for a frame, frame and a half, maybe two, but it doesn't last.
No, that's right. Mark Williams, he was a junior boxer actually, and he was on the ropes a little, wasn't he, at the start of the last
39.
frame, but Vafaei did not knock him down. But he's missed that, so this is not done yet.
Mark Williams,
The
39.
match was within his grasp, wasn't it? But he's missed that one.
Oh, this is risky. Oh, it's a fabulous pot. It really is, because if that doesn't go in, the match is as good as done. Just come the wrong side on the pink. He can't get a thick cannon on the two reds together. So it's dead weight black to hold the cue ball. He's getting a little addition on the end of his cue then to reach this, but sort of shot. Dead weight. Sometimes it doesn't reach the pocket, but that's perfect. Well played. Hossein Vafaei. Sometimes players' backs to the wall, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. They come out and sort of
8.
just think, right, let's just put everything that's gone before, let's just put it in the past and just get on with the present. It can focus the mind sometimes. But that's not in.
8.
He
Hossein
was up
Vafaei.
and off the shot so quickly. That's what it's all about, this game. You put a brilliant red to get things underway, then a nasty, horrible, thin cut black. You knock it in, you think, right, oh, thank goodness for that. Then you miss a sitter.
All of which gives Williams another chance. It was a good first pot, wasn't it? Very thin red.
Eight.
He just wants to get to 6. He won't fret about any mistakes, I don't think. Chance to take part in the title match.
9. $16.
So a couple more reds with colours should do it.
$17. $22. $23.
You'd have told Mark Williams when he turned professional at the age of 17 that at the age of 48 he'd be reaching a ranking final. I'm sure he wouldn't have believed you. But here we are. This is match ball. The thing with these great players is even when they're struggling, you still have to beat them.
29.
There were a couple of moments in the match where he looked vulnerable. Hossein Vafaei didn't take advantage, including in this frame. He needs 2 snookers, otherwise Williams is first into the final. And in it goes, the extra red to make sure. So Mark Williams will be contesting the Clive Everton Trophy on Sunday against either Mark Selby or Jacques Dudon.
37.
Hossein Vafaei for sure will look back on moments in this match where he failed to take advantage.
38.
He made that terrific break. Vafaei 1-3-5 in frame 7. But since then, he struggled. Mark Williams, the British Open champion in 1997
44.
and 2021, looking for a hat-trick here this year.
46. $49.
And the thing is, he's never really changed from turning pro at 17 to being 48 as a person. He's just very similar now to how he was then, just very laid back, takes everything in his stride. But on the table, he remains a warrior.
$58. $64.
This will be his highest break of the whole afternoon if the black goes in.
71 frame in a match.
Mark Williams, the first man into the final of the British Open. There were moments this afternoon where Hossein Vafaei could have taken advantage. It didn't happen for Iran's #1, so it is the Welshman who reaches the final of the British Open, a winner by 6 frames to 3, and we'll have words from Mark and all the reaction coming up after the break.